In a rare piece of excellent reporting, CNN looked into the weapons used by the Saudi-led coalition in Yemen, which have killed countless civilians, and this is all part of a civil war, an ongoing civil war that began in 2015 in Yemen. It was a rebellion by Houthi rebels, and the Saudi-backed coalition, which supports the Yemeni government, has been aggressively going after these rebels, and unfortunately, many civilians have died as a result of that. Now, the story that we recently talked about had to do with the bombing of a school bus, which carried dozens of children. The bomb used by the Saudi-led coalition in that devastating attack on a school bus in Yemen was sold as part of a US State Department-sanctioned arms deal with Saudi Arabia. Now, I mention that because in the update to this story, CNN did a great job in finding which weapons were used, where the weapons came from, and of course they come from the US government. These are weapons that we've sold to Saudi Arabia. Now, the weapon that left dozens of children dead on August 9th was a 500-pound laser-guided Mk-82 bomb made by Lockheed Martin, one of the top US defense contractors. And just to be clear regarding the casualties of that bombing, of the 51 people who died in the airstrike, 40 of them were children. Now, I want to just quickly show you a video of what that bombing was like and how devastating it was for the people who were victimized by it, who were in the area. The video I'm about to show you is graphic, so I want to give you warning. But with that said, let's take a look.
On August 9th, Zaid's son Osama filmed his class on their long-awaited school trip, a reward for graduating summer school. Within hours, and it had all gone horribly wrong. A plane from the US-backed Saudi-led coalition struck a bus carrying them. Dozens died. Some of the bodies were so mutilated, identification became impossible.
Okay, so first of all, I want to give credit to CNN for an excellent report. We oftentimes criticize them for just taking what the Pentagon says at face value, et cetera, but credit where credit is due. Terrific reporting here. And we'll have the link to the full CNN segment in the description box below if you're watching this later on YouTube or Facebook. The numbers that Anna gave you in the CNN is quoting is the bare minimum. Others are stating higher numbers, but at a very minimum, 40 kids were killed. And unfortunately, a lot of the kids that you saw in that school bus video are dead. And they happened to take that video before the bomb hit, obviously. And then you saw some of the kids that were injured. And that last kid in the hospital, they were all incredibly hard to look at. So why are we subjecting you guys to that in CNN, et cetera? Because you have to know the consequences of our actions. Mm-hmm. So when we sell weapons to Saudi Arabia and they use it to bomb school children, well, that's partly on us. Even if you don't think so, they certainly think so. And so when Joe Scarborough, the next time he tells you they hate us because they hate us, remember that video. No, they hate us because of that bomb was made in the USA that killed their kids.
Right, and I also want to mention that it's not just that we sell these weapons to Saudi Arabia, but we also supply Saudi Arabia with fuel necessary to carry out some of these attacks. And more importantly, we're helping them with intelligence. So we're very much helping Saudi Arabia fight this war. And it does have consequences. I mean, one of the consequences is civilians die, and that leads to hostility toward the United States. I mean, the hostility to the United States is bad, but let's just keep in mind, the worst part about all of this is that children, innocent people, innocent civilians who are caught up in this civil war are losing their lives, and we're playing a role in that. Now, I wanna give you some more information about these weapons and what Trump did versus what Obama did in Yemen. So the bomb that was used in this particular attack is very similar to the one in an attack on a funeral hall in Yemen in October of 2016, in which 155 people were killed and hundreds more were wounded. So in March of that year, a strike on a Yemeni market, this time reportedly by a US supplied precision guided Mk-84 bomb, killed 97 people. So this is happening in 2016, and the Obama administration realizes, okay, this is This is not good. There are human rights issues here. In the aftermath, Obama banned the sale of precision-guided military technology to Saudi Arabia over human rights concerns. But guess what happens when Trump comes into office? He decides to essentially get rid of that ban. The ban was overturned by the Trump administration's then Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson.
So I want to give you James Mattis's quote. He's the Secretary of Defense on whether we're helping them target. He said, I will tell you that we do help them plan what we call kind of targeting. He said, we do not do dynamic targeting for them. So the distinction he's trying to draw is, we didn't tell them to bomb that bus filled with school kids, but we help them with intelligence overall so they know the general areas to bomb, where the rebels are moving, et cetera, right? So you do with that whatever you please. So number one, you should always question the Pentagon and the government. And so I don't even know if that's true, but even if you believe that it is true, I don't know that that makes it that much better.
Right.
And we're giving them a lot of technical capabilities like the refueling of their jets that they couldn't do without us. And the bombs they wouldn't have without us. So could they have done that bombing without our help? The answer is very literally no. So it's possible that they could have gone to China and Russia. Maybe they might not have the capabilities that we have in executing these type of missions, such as they are. So I want to go back to the CNN report here because they show you the bomb and how we know definitively that it was a US-made bomb. So let's watch that part.
This video of shrapnel was filmed in the aftermath of the attack and sent to CNN by contact in Sada. A cameraman working for CNN subsequently filmed these images. Munitions experts tell CNN this was a US-made Mark Mk-82 bomb, weighing in at half a ton. The first 5 digits there are the cage number, the commercial and government entity number. This number here denotes Lockheed Martin, one of the top US defense contractors.
We're at the forefront of the science that makes them real.
This particular Mk-82 is a paveway, a laser-guided precision bomb. Its targeting accuracy a particular point of pride for Lockheed Martin.
So one more time, credit to CNN, not just because they're covering this topic matter, which is really, really important, but they bothered to send a reporter to the ground to confirm that it was an American-made Lockheed Martin bomb. So now they went a little bit further and gave you a map of all the different places where American bombs have landed. It's not a pretty picture. Let's take a look at that as well.
The devastation inflicted by the Mk-82 is all too familiar in Yemen. In March 2016, a strike on a market using the similarly laser-guided 2,000-pound Mk-84 killed 97 people. In October 2016, another strike on a funeral hall killed 155 people and wounded hundreds more. Then the bus attack on August 9th, where they're still counting the dead.
As Anna pointed out, one of those terrible attacks is what caused the Obama administration to pause our military and technical help to Saudi Arabia in specific areas. Now, Trump comes in and goes, no, just bomb them to pieces. Who cares? I don't care about the human rights concerns. I am lifting that block, which we put into place because we thought you were bombing the wrong people and doing it basically without care. And then he sold them $110 billion of extra weaponry. And no one is innocent here. With our Democratic and Republican administrations have been supporting Saudi Arabia and their human rights abuses for decade after decade after decade. This war in particular that's been going on for 3 years is literally the worst humanitarian crisis in the world. According to the United Nations, they have 22 million people in Yemen. 3/4 of the population is in desperate need of aid and protection as we continue to sell weapons to Saudi Arabia that devastates the country of Yemen. So yes, he made it worse. And hence, Saudi Arabia, understandably, took that as a green light to continue to these bombings. So finally, when asked about this bombing in particular, the Saudi military and their coalition said that this was, quote, a legitimate military action. You saw the kids. And then they were even more specific. They said that it targeted Houthi leaders that were responsible for recruiting and training young children and sending them to the battlefields. In other words, yeah, we meant to hit that bus full of young children because we thought they were going to be trained to be rebels by the Houthis. You saw the video on the bus. Did they look like they were being trained? They were on their way back from a picnic. They were so excited because this was their rare treat for going through summer school. They weren't getting trained as rebels. They just obliterated that bus full of kids. And part of the reason is we gave them the green light, and then we gave them the bombs, and then we showed them how to use it. They don't hate us because they hate us. They hate us because of our actions.
Did you know the TYT network is now available on YouTube's new streaming platform, YouTube TV? Get access to full TYT episodes and exclusive shows by signing up for YouTube TV today. All new subscribers get a 7-day free trial, so head over to youtube.tv and search for TYT Network's channel.